Colombo West, ICBT, and the Royal Institute of Colombo. I am Raida Rizvi, Vice Chairperson of CLM, a youth-led organization which was officially launched in November 2020 by Zainab Rafiq, our founder. Our mission at CLM basically revolves around serving our community and our country by promoting the importance of taking care of both our physical health as well as our mental health, which are both equally vital for a well-balanced and healthy lifestyle. How we plan to do this is by raising awareness on the need for professional mental health care and support for those battling mental ill health, as well as connecting cancer and cardiac patients with palliative support and linking people with professional advisors on nutrition and fitness in order to promote overall well-being. We are so grateful to the Rotaract clubs for their collaboration with us in casting a spotlight on the need to both raise awareness about and introduce solutions for those who suffer from mental ill health, in particular amongst our youth. Today, on day one of our workshop series, we will be focusing on raising suicide awareness here in Sri Lanka. According to a World Health Organization report, nearly 800,000 people die due to suicide every year, which amounts to one person every 40 seconds. Last year, according to reported police statistics in Sri Lanka, 2,484 men and 590 women died due to suicide. And according to the WHO, suicide is the fourth leading cause of death in 15 to 19-year-olds. Suicide is, therefore, clearly a crisis that needs to be affirmatively addressed for the sake of everyone who has ever experienced suicidal thoughts and feelings. Most often, those who suffer from suicidal thoughts rarely actually want their lives to end. Rather, they want a situation to change because it has become unbearable and they don't see a way out. So, how can we help change that? For one, we need to make sure that mental health care is available to everyone who needs it, regardless of their location and financial situation. We also need to change the way we speak about issues pertaining to mental ill health, which goes all the way from the dialogues we hold within our own homes to how the media reports incidents of suicide and mental health related issues to the masses. We need to normalize these conversations and have them frequently and openly so as to allow those who are suffering to feel that they are able to open up and seek help. It is not shameful to not be able to operate at your best 24/7. If you break your arm, you don't wait for every bone in your body to break before you seek treatment. The same should go for addressing mental health issues. If you are suffering, you need to know that you deserve help and that you don't need to justify the severity of your pain. Let's do our part in holding these conversations and working toward a more equitable society in which we can all be truly healthy and able to enjoy life to its fullest extent. Thank you to everyone who has joined us today. I am confident that our session will be educational and helpful for all of you. And also, thank you to every person who chose to wear the colors of suicide awareness today, although I can't see anyone because there's no camera switched on. But if you did, thank you. Over to Zainab, who will be giving a small speech on the power of you.
Thank you, Raida. I hope I can. Raida, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Hi, guys, and I hope y'all can switch on your videos. It's not mandatory, but if y'all do, because when we have the art therapy session occurring, we'll definitely need y'all to switch on the videos as per the request. It's not mandatory, but if y'all would love to. So I'm here just to give a short talk on the power of you, and I'm Zainab here, and I believe most of us do have these thoughts that come up with variables denoting lack of self-esteem and negative thoughts and criticisms, which may put us down at some point in life. How many of us have actually thanked ourselves for the failures and success. Yes, you all heard it right, the failure, because I believe without the failures, we wouldn't have actually learned the lessons. We all have magic, I think, embedded in ourselves, but how many of us have actually acknowledged them? The imperfections, knowing that that is what actually makes ourselves the blueprint. So I think I just have a question for all of y'all. If the platform is yours, just wanted to just state it off. Do y'all actually believe y'all need a specific age to attain a standing ovation, an acknowledgement from the audience? Is it a yes or a no? If y'all find it to just say, you can just drop in a message, I don't know, through the chat, if it's a yes or a no. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that y'all definitely need an age for a standing ovation?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, but I was on that specific assumption that I always thought that you really need to have a specific age. So this is just a small incident that I thought of sharing off, a very short story to denote few fundamental values. I think down the memory lane many years ago, I still remember sitting for my GCSE final exam paper, and I was ready to sit for the paper that was held to be held tomorrow. And I was in a classroom filled with a lot of teachers and students and preparing for the exam. And at that very point in time, all that I could recall was one of the teachers just headed off to the table and stated, Zainab, you're being called to the principal. So the adrenaline rush, the fear, the excitement was there, but at the same time, not knowing how to react. And I just had to head off to the principal's room. And the principal states, you will have to represent the school as an expatriate in few minutes, basically few hours on that very event. And I confidently as a kid, knowing that principals usually they prefer academic oriented, so I was like, I do have my IGCSE paper to be held tomorrow, so I always thought that's an escape, to leave off that event. The principal stated, I'll see you at the consulate at 5:30 p.m. Now, knowing that there is no option, a yes or a no, I had to go and represent. But back of my head, the four thoughts were, am I going to lose that 4 hours which my friends are going to be studying for the IGCSE paper? Today, I know that incident has brought an impact in my life, but at that point, it didn't. And so I was ready. I went, I gave the speech or whatever the talk was on. But at that very point, once the talk was done, all I could remember was a group of people standing up for innovation. But as a kid in grade 10, I definitely didn't know that you get a standing ovation, for specified topics or whatever thing. And I just moved from the podium thinking that, it was the national anthem that is to be sung. So that is why the audience stood up. And I was ready to, I think you call it the attention poster. So standing there with the attention poster, ready for the attention poster, look to the left, look to the right, waiting for the national anthem to be sung. But then I didn't hear the song. So I was like, okay, something is weird. The computer stated that's not for the national anthem, that's a standing ovation, denoting as an expatriate for giving a powerful or a specified message. That was the very incident that denoted two important things that I'm here today to just denote. Number one, power always lies within yourself. You don't really need an age, but it's all about the various topics. So I hope this leaves off with a message that be power lies within yourself and not within others. Heading it over to Raida, hoping our panelist speaker will be here to give us the activity. Thank you.
Yes, so now just to hand over to Ms. Shimali, our art therapist, to conduct her session of art therapy. I hope she's with us. Ms. Shimali? Okay, so she should be with us soon.
She's joining in 2 minutes.
Okay, so just give us a couple of minutes and Ms. Shimali will join us. Yes, Ms. Shimali, I think you've joined. Would you like to start your session? Ms. Shimali?
Hi.
Hi. So I'll hand the session over to you.
Okay, thank you, Raida. So I welcome all of you to this session and thanks CLM for getting me on board to be a part of this session. Do you guys have your videos on so that I can see you?
Everyone who's comfortable with turning their cameras on, can you please do so? It would be great to conduct our therapy session.
Great, thank you. So just to keep you posted, it will be a very interactive session. There will be art. There'll also be a bit of talking as well. So that it feels more interactive and more personal. Those of you who are comfortable, you can on your videos. And we can take it on from there. So Raida, shall I go ahead?
Yes, please. I think.
All right. So my name is Shimali Pereira, and I am a registered art therapist, currently practicing in Colombo and online, of course, due to the lockdown situation. So any of you are familiar with art therapy? Have you heard about it? Is it something new? Have any of you been for art therapy maybe on your personal journeys? Anybody?
It's my first time.
Okay. All right. So art therapy, let me just briefly tell you what art therapy is about. So art therapy is where we use the medium of art as a mode of communication and expression, especially when words are not enough. So what that simply means is it's something like counseling. It follows the same format as, you know, going to a psychologist or going to a counselor. But the difference is we focus more on art. So it's more, you know, communicating what you're going through art making. And you don't really have to have a background knowledge in art, or you don't have to have any skills in art. But it's about just expressing yourself. Just sometimes I tell my clients, just vomit out how you're feeling. It's just putting it all out on paper. And it's okay to make a mess. It's okay to get things ugly, because that's what healing is all about. We first express what's in there, and then we begin the healing journey in and through that process. So I work one-on-one with clients, and I also do workshops like these days. So just to give you an idea of what to expect today, so since we are looking at suicide prevention, I'll be giving you maybe a few tips on how to really help yourself to soothe yourself and calm yourself, you know, when you're in a stressful situation, especially given the pandemic and the lockdown and all that we're going through currently. Just to, you know, a few tools to include in your toolkit. So something that you can always go back to, something you can continue to work on. So that being said, I'd like you to, okay, there is a chat box here, right? All right, so I'd like you all to send me on the chat your expectations from today's workshop. What do you expect from today from me? So you can very quickly send it on the chat so that I can see as well. Just to check, the chat is open to, okay, now I'm getting it. Okay, so we have how to cope with lockdown blues. Anyone else? To gain some new knowledge on this area of study. All right. So I see that we have 49 plus participants. So as I said, I like it to be interactive. So to get an idea of what and how art therapy works and to know if it's effective. Okay. You're putting me on the spot there. Okay. I'm sure it will help. Anyone else? No, I see some of you typing, but I'm not sure if you're typing to me. Okay, how to not be sad, okay, to building more self-esteem and moving out from anxiety issues, all right, to find better coping mechanisms. Okay, all right, so I'm pretty sure that today is going to help all of you to find peace of mind. Okay, got it. Today is going to help all of you in that sense to really help deal with all that you have mentioned, and I hope that I'm able to meet with your expectations as well. So we're going to do a couple of breathing exercises. So anyone here is familiar with yoga, familiar with meditation? do you on a regular basis practice breathing exercises, or just becoming aware of your breath? So you can talk to me.
Not really, miss.
All right, okay. So I think Zainab mentioned that there are a few sessions lined up with meditation, mindfulness and yoga as well. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of in-depth covered in-depthly, but I'm going to just touch on it briefly, because in art therapy we also work with a lot of areas of, with mindfulness, we work with psychology, we do a lot of body work as well. So especially in the case of stress, you think that, it's only in your mind, but it's also in your body. So who knows where your brain is? That may sound like a very dumb question, but yes, so where is your brain? Okay, thank you, Dilanji. Okay, any other guesses? So Dilanji pointed to the head. Okay, does everyone say that's where the brain is? Any other guesses? No? Inside the skull. Okay. All right. So, let me help you kind of understand why I'm saying that. When you feel anxious, what happens to your body? Or when you get nervous, do you feel anything happen in any particular part of your body?
You shiver and your hands get cold and your feet gets cold and you tend to stammer sometimes.
Sorry, what is the last one?
And your heart beats very fast.
Okay. Okay.
Blood pressure goes down.
Blood pressure goes down. Okay. All of it is true. I'm looking for a particular part of the body. Anyone here who has experienced butterflies in your stomach? Does anyone here know what that's like? At what moment do you feel butterflies in your stomach? You all know what that means, right? When you have butterflies in your stomach before an exam, yes? When else? So for some of us, maybe if we are afraid of speaking in front of a crowd, or if we have to like give a presentation or something like that, or just venture into something new before doing a presentation. Yes. So so our brain, more than it being here, it's more, okay, you can't obviously see me, it's more in our bellies. Our stomach is also part of our brain. Our back, our spinal cord is also part of our brain. So you may have heard of people who complain of backaches and stomach aches, and they go to the doctors and they don't have, the doctors are not able to diagnose what's wrong with them. Maybe you have heard of people like that. So that's called psychosomatic problems. Simply because the stress, the trauma, the problems, whatever it is stored in your bodies, and it comes out as a stomach ache, it comes out as a backache, it comes out as a headache, and it cannot be explained. Okay, I don't think you want me to mention that publicly unless everyone saw that. Okay, right. So since we have time, so Zainab, just to check again, we are on till 7, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. So since we have a bit of time, maybe we can spend some time doing some breath work and then dive into the rest of the art activities that we have for today. So first of all, what I want you all to do is to sit comfortably, right? So if you're leaning against a chair, you can sit with your back against your chair. Make sure your feet are touching the ground. So maybe be barefoot so that you can feel the ground. Since it's either gloomy weather and it may be a bit cold, it's okay to wear slippers or shoes or whatever. If you're feeling cold, that's fine. Then in that case, hands on your lap, and I will just play some music as well. Just give me a second. Can you hear the music? Yeah? Alright. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes, relax. Close your eyes. And right now, just focus on your feet touching the ground or touching your slippers or your shoes. Just become aware of that right now. So we're going to do a bit of breathing. I want you to take your hand and keep it on your chest. So I'll guide you through a few breathing in and breathing out. When we are breathing out, when we are exhaling, I want you to gently push your hand in to your chest. So don't push it too hard, but be very gentle, okay? So we'll breathe in and breathe out, and gently press your chest in. Once again, we'll breathe in and breathe out. Gently press your chest. For the final time, breathe in and breathe out. Now I want you to move your hand to your stomach, and we're going to do the same thing, but this time with our stomach, with our bellies. Breathe in and breathe out. Gently press your stomach. Once again, breathe in and breathe out. aware of your feet touching the ground or your shoes. And become aware that you are in this art therapy session. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Is everyone doing okay? Okay, I see a few nods. Any feedback of what that was like for you? Do you feel a difference? So if you're comfortable, you can unmute and let me know, or you can send it on the chat. Okay, so most of you have said that you feel calm, relaxed, peaceful, light, soothing. Great. So we are going to continue on the same flow and move on to art. So I hope you got some art materials with you. Basic paper, pencil, pen, crayons, markers, whatever you got. Everyone's got it? Something? Okay. If you don't have crayons and markers at home, just pencil and paper, I'm sure you have. You can get that. If you don't have A4 papers at home, I'm sure you have a notebook somewhere in your house. Some scrap paper, all that is good as well. So I think some of you went to get something, so I'll wait just a few seconds till you get it sorted. Okay, so keep your paper in front of you, and whatever art medium you're going to use, be it a pen, a pencil, a crayon, or a marker, just one. We just need one. So keep that ready in your hands. Okay, everyone's ready? So if you're ready, you can give me a thumbs up. If your video is on, I don't know how it works on Teams, but maybe if not, raise your hand, I guess. Okay, all right. Great. Okay. So we're gonna once again work with our breath. This is an activity called Draw Your Breath. I know it sounds extremely complicated, and I'm gonna complicate it a bit more by explaining how we're gonna do it, but so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the shape of our breath on our paper. So I'm sure you guys are trying to figure out what exactly is the shape of my breath. So simply said, I don't want you to draw an artwork. It's not gonna be a flower, a tree, a house, a sun, no. It'll most probably look like a line, a wave, a spiral, anything in those areas. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to focus on our breath. If you're comfortable, you can continue to keep your hand on your chest or your tummy, whichever you felt clicked with you. If you're not comfortable in doing that, you don't have to. And we're going to continue to focus on our breath. So I'll first guide you at the start, and then since we have a bit of time, I'll let you do it by yourself. we're going to breathe in with our nose and breathe out from our mouth. And we'll start by just continuing to be aware of our breath. And after that, I'm going to ask you to pick up your art medium, that's your pen or pencil, and basically allow your breath to take your pen or your pencil for a walk on your paper. So simply said, you are not going to focus on what you're drawing, but all throughout you're going to focus on your breathing and just get lost in the music. Get lost in just becoming aware of your breath. Okay? So I don't need a tree, a flower, or a sun, or a house, but it'll look like a wave, a spiral, a line, anything that you're comfortable with. So those of you who have your videos on, if you're comfortable, you can lower your screen so that I can see, if you're on a laptop that is, lower your screen so that I can see what you're doing, and maybe I can guide you if I need to guide you if you need more directions. Okay? All right, so everyone's ready? Everything's clear? Are the directions clear? So again, thumbs up or raise your hand. Okay, all right, got it. Okay, so again, once again, sit comfortably. Those of you who are comfortable, you can have one of your hands on your chest or your tummy, and with your other hand, hold on to whichever art medium you're going to use, and close your eyes. If you're comfortable, if you're not comfortable, that's fine. Just look at something in front of you if not. Okay. So those of you who are ready and comfortable, you can close your eyes. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. So while you continue to have your eyes closed and you continue to focus on your breathing, you can pick up your art medium and allow your breath to take your art medium from your paper. So we'll breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. So you can continue to follow this same pattern by yourself, and I'll let you know when time is up. So we'll slowly bring our breath drawing to an end. Maybe you can just do the last round. And we'll remind ourselves we're in the art therapy session. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Would anyone like to tell me what that was like? So I see a surprised face. How was that like for you? So you can unmute or you can send it on the chat, whichever you're comfortable with. So new experience feels really peaceful. Okay. So this is definitely something you can add on to your toolkit. It's called Draw Your Breath Therapeutic. Whenever you feel overwhelmed or just feel really stressed out, or maybe, are you guys students or are you all working? Just so that I have a background. Are you all like uni students or are you all working? Is it like a working from home burnout? Or is it like a online classes burnout? Okay, student, working, student. Okay, so we have a mix. Okay, so whenever you feel overwhelmed with the students here, whenever you feel overwhelmed with your assignments, exams, presentations, this is something you could do. It doesn't take long. It's just a few minute activity to just focus on your breath again, to just do the groundwork of connecting with the ground and yourself, connecting with your brain, your big brain, and just grounding yourself again. And even for those of you who are working, I'm sure some of you may be having to travel these days, maybe some of you are working from home, but nevertheless it still may be stressful. So this is something maybe you can do in the mornings when you wake up, before you go to work, maybe midday before your lunch, or maybe when you come back from work, before you go to sleep. Something to really help you calm down. And those of you who don't have a restful sleep, I think someone mentioned it on the chat, this is maybe something you can do before you go to sleep to really help you calm down and relax. So with that, we're going to move on to our next activity. So since we're working on dealing with suicide prevention, one of the main things I'm sure all of you are aware of is that what leads to suicide is just being really, really overwhelmed or stressed with something, and you're going through depression. Maybe others are aware of it, or maybe you're just going through it by yourself. Suicide can be a very silent killer as well. So the main thing is self-awareness. I'm sure some of you know it. If you don't, let's just take a few minutes on your papers or whatever it is you have with you right now. Let's just write down. So you don't have to tell me this. I'm not going to ask you, so don't worry. It's just you and your paper now. Just write down. What are your stressors right now? What is it that really stresses you out? Maybe whatever that keeps you up in the night, that whatever that doesn't, that you find difficult to focus on your work or your studies? What is it that really stresses you out? So while you all are doing this, something that I'm sure you all are aware, something we need to tell ourselves is that from all of these stressors that we have written down, some of it is within our control and some of it is not within our control. For example, the pandemic. None of us are superheroes to go and stop the pandemic, right? So for example, another example would be, say, the political stuff happening in the country. I'm pretty sure there are no politicians with us here in this platform. So, that's beyond our control. It's not something we can control. So it's like that. It's also becoming aware of what I can do and what I cannot do. So next to your stressors, the next thing I want you to write down is, how does it affect you? So when I say affect, there are a couple of ways that all these stressors affect you. So one is it affects your behavior. So for example, when I say behavior, it can be maybe at a moment when you feel really stressed. Maybe those of you who drive, you would notice you may have road rage, unlike ever before, the days you're really stressed. That's just an example, right? Emotionally, it can affect you. Maybe you notice that you're crying all the time and you don't know why, or you just get really upset at the slightest thing, or you get very angry and you just blow up with your family members, or if you have pets at home, with your pet. Also, it could affect you spiritually. If you're someone who's on a spiritual journey, it may affect your maybe your way of praying or your way of connecting to your spiritual, maybe your God or your spiritual, the way you pray. You feel that you're not able to do that anymore. It affects us physically. So physically is, like I said earlier, you have like headaches, stomach aches, back aches, and we don't really know why. There is no proper medical diagnosis. It can also affect us cognitively. So that is where you can't work, you can't focus, your attention span is affected. All the time you're thinking about, something else. So these are a few ways that these stressors can affect you. So let's just take a moment now to become aware. When I am stressed, how does it affect me? So I want you to write this down simply because it's a huge step in becoming aware of what you go through in a situation like that. So personally, I did this some time ago and it was a huge eye-opener for me. And when you are aware of this, okay, these are my symptoms. This is what I need to watch out for. I need to, help myself to calm down, to soothe myself. And you're able to do something about it only when you are aware of what you're going through, right? So let's just take a few minutes to write down how you feel in your body, in your mind, emotionally, behaviorally, and spiritually. Okay, more to write. If you have more to write, it's okay, go ahead. Those of you who are done, you wait for those who are still writing. Anyone still writing? Or can we go ahead? All good? So again, thumbs up or raise your hand. Okay. So it's a good way to communicate non-verbally. Okay. All right. So okay. So I just see a few hands up. All right. So I'm sure Zainab or someone in CLM would have sent you a message about a box. Everyone got it? Okay. So don't worry if you don't have a box. You can even have a bag, which you don't use, of course, because I don't want you to throw it away and use it for something else. It's going to be something that's going to stay with you, hopefully all throughout your life. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is, so I'm really glad that we have a lot of time and we don't have to rush through this activity. We're going to make a self-soothing box, right? So this box or bag, for those of you who have a bag. So basically this box or bag is going to be your self-care toolkit, box or bag, that you will carry along with you for the rest of your life, hopefully. And it's going to be a work in progress. So it's not an activity that's going to end today at 7 p.m. But it's something that you continue to work on. It's something you'll continue to add to. It's something that you continue to develop as time goes by. Okay? So basically what we're looking at from this box is different ways to help you soothe when you reach a moment of just being overwhelmed. So now we spoke about breathing, that is one. This box is going to contain a lot more ideas for you in a situation where you just need something to help you calm down, right? So research says that especially when it comes to moments of feeling really, really overwhelmed, or if you're someone who has suicide ideation, the way you can really help yourself is to break that trend of thought at that given point until you really reach proper health, is to work with your 5 senses. So can someone tell me very quickly what your 5 senses are? It's common knowledge. I'm not asking some scientific thing. What are your 5 senses? Okay, so we got sight, taste, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, touch. Okay, good. All right, okay. So, yes, so we're going to work with vision. We're going to work with our smell. We're going to work with touch, taste. I missed something. Sound. Okay. So before we get to that, so I just got a box just to show you guys. So if you all are working with a box, it could be just a box where you separate the lid and the box, or it could be something that's connected. So this is an example of a box. So it's a shoe box. Before we get to the point of what we can actually put inside the box, I thought it would be nice to spend some time decorating the box, because this box is going to be something very, very special. it's going to be something that is going to be with you for a while, right? So whatever art mediums that you have got with you, let's just take maybe about 10-15 minutes till 6:30 or 6:35. So I'll let you know when time is up. You can take all whatever art mediums you have, use your creativity. Like I said, you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to, have like this really nice object in front of you, but something that helps you to calm down, something that basically makes you want to feel like opening the box. If it's not something inviting for you, you're definitely not going to open the box, right? So you can decorate your box only the inside for the moment, because we're going to work with only the outside for the moment, because we're going to work with the inside. Okay, so you can go ahead and start. You can, I'm not going to give you ideas, but I'm sure all of you are creative and imaginative. Go ahead. Okay, so I'll let you know when time is up. So we're first looking at decorating our boxes from the outside, and later on we'll focus on the inside. Okay. I'd like to see what you all are doing too. Those of you who are okay with it, you all can lower your screen. There's no judgment here. So you can be open to sharing whatever you're doing. Also, because I need to know when you're done, which I can't see when your video plays off. So whoever is comfortable, you can, if you're okay with it. Is anyone done? If you are done, if you can let me know by raising your hand so that I know the status. Do you need just a few minutes more? Okay. So 3 of you are done. So we'll take just a few minutes more to wind up. Don't worry, you can definitely continue this later on when you get some time. Like I said, it's a work in progress. So you can definitely keep on adding to it, beautifying it, decorating it, whatever you like to do. So if there are more of you done, you can maybe raise your hand so that I know. So maybe we'll take just a minute or two to wind up and can continue on later as well. Okay. So shall we wind up for the moment? Is that okay? That's okay? You're okay to go ahead? Raise your hand, please, so that I know. So, guessing the rest of you are still doing your books. Okay, so maybe while the others finish, maybe we can start a small discussion about what can go inside our box. So, like I said, we're looking at the 5 senses. So we'll maybe go with we'll maybe take each sense at a time so that it's easier for us. So maybe we'll first go with smell. So what we're gonna do now is you're gonna put inside your box. Maybe you have brought a few things along with you. Look at the things that from in terms of smell. So it can be like a scented candle, essential oil, maybe a perfume, hand cream or body lotion, something that has a sense of smell that you can actually put in your box. Or it could be a couple of ideas for you to help you in a situation like that will give you a sense of smell. So if you don't really have stuff to put in there, you can also write down what you can do in a moment that you really need to, go into a box, something that will bring smell. So what do you think that will help you all in a situation like that in terms of smell? So it can be stuff that you physically put inside your box, but it also can be other ideas, for example, like the smell of flowers, maybe getting some flowers for yourself, or, just going outside and just smelling fresh air, or baking a cake, or, cookies or something that smell of food. So any ideas? What do you all think? What helps you in terms of smell? So you can throw it on the chat so that I know everyone's on board with me here. What are the things in terms of smell? What do you think will help you when you feel really stressed out and overwhelmed? What do you think will help you in terms of smell?
I think candles, the scent of candles really gives a lot of a different vibe. I mean, peaceful and things like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Zainab. What about the others? Any idea? So it doesn't have to be one thing. It can be a mix of stuff, because see, we are looking at a day when you're really stressed out and you're overwhelmed. Maybe at that moment you may not like, for example, maybe you may not like scented candles at that time. You just can't be bothered. So keep, have a couple of stuff there that will help you, couple of ideas. So for Zainab, it's scented candles. What about the others? You can throw it on the chat. So the smell of rain. Okay. All right. So if on this particular day it's not raining, maybe you can throw some water to the ground and get that, try to create that smell for you of rain hitting the ground, the grass. So that is something you can write down on your post-it note or your small card, because obviously we cannot include that in our box, right? So how we're going to include that is we're going to write it down and make a note for ourselves. This is what I can do to help me in terms of smell. The sea breeze, Yes, definitely. The smell of the sea. If you live close to the sea, and if it's not a lockdown, of course, you can go to the sea. But if it is a lockdown, we have to look at all options. Okay, so we're in the middle of a lockdown as well. What can help you with smell? Any other ideas? Or is everyone clear? Did you get what I mean when it comes to smell? So those of you who have brought some stuff, what have you brought along with you that relates to smell? Anyone send it on the chat? Just so I know that everyone's on the same page. Oh wow, an air freshener. That's nice. Scented candles, body lotion, essential oils. Okay, alright, so everyone's got it, no? So we'll move on to the next sense. So we worked with smell. Maybe we'll go down, touch, taste. So obviously storing food in your box is not the most practical thing with ants and cockroaches and geckos that go around. But what do you think will help you in terms of taste that you can put in your box? Or you can write it on a note and put it in your box as well. What are the things that will help you on a stressed out, overwhelmed day in terms of taste? What would you like to eat that you can easily get a hang of, of course? So don't think of something that's available in another country, because that's obviously not practical. But don't think of something that's available in a city that's not yours, but something that's easily accessible to you at that moment. Anybody? So you can either unmute or put it on the chat. In terms of taste, chocolate, oranges, hot coffee. Okay. So what you all can do is, so oranges actually, you can take the peel of the orange and put it in your box, and it will actually give a nice scent to your box as well. And maybe coffee, you can maybe put the coffee, what do you call it, the paper, something from the coffee box or whatever it comes in. Same with tea. Well, the rest of it, of course, you can't put inside your box, but maybe you can make a note and keep it in your box, so that it's a note to self. This is something I'd like to have on a day I feel really, really overwhelmed or stressed out. So basically, these are, wow, tippy tip. So you can tippy tip. I'm sure if it's something you like, you may have some empty wrappers around the house. You can clean it and put it inside your box, or maybe cut a part of it. So I love your ideas, by the way. You're making me hungry also. Okay. So basically, this is just to give yourself like a mental note on a day when you're obviously not able to think, or to kind of gather, make sense for yourself. Okay, what do I do now? It's something where you can just go to your box and just pick something that's really appealing to you at that moment. So this is what this box is all about. So I think we have got taste figured out. So those of you who want to write it down on your notes, on your post-it notes or cards, and you can just throw it into your box. those of you who actually have wrappers or oranges or TPT packs, that empty packs, of course, you can throw that into your box as well. Orange peel, by the way, and not the entire orange. Okay, so we'll move into the next one. Maybe we'll look at touch. Shall we go with touch? So basically, we're looking at things that you can touch that will help you to calm down at a moment where you feel really, really overwhelmed. So for example, it can be stuff like, I'm sure some of you have stress balls at home. Those pretty little yellow color balls with a smiley face on it. There is also clay, like kids' clay, stuff you can actually just squeeze and just mess around with. Any other ideas? What do you all think in terms of touch? What will help you? Fidget spinners, yes? Okay. So that is something you can put inside your box. Any other ideas in terms of touch? Petting my dog, yes, definitely I agree on that. Slime, yep. So slime, I'm sure you're aware you can make your own slime at home. There are many ways you can do that. Well, you can't put your dog inside the box, so maybe you can make a note and put that inside your box. What else? Any other ideas? So for some of us, just going under the shower also helps. It can be a cold shower for some of us. Maybe for some of us, it's a hot shower. Of course, I'm not sure how many of us have the privilege of a bubble bath, although that would be ideal. I don't think we have that here in Sri Lanka, but we could maybe look at a foot massage or just soaking our feet in warm water. What else? Any other ideas? Anyone who's stuck for ideas? Maybe we can help each other out. What else do you think in terms of touch? You can take your favorite body cream or hand lotion and give yourself a small massage, or just rub it on your hands and just feel your hands. Bubble wrap. Oh, that's nice. Instruments, we'll get to that. So instruments will come under another category. So let's hold that for the moment. Plush toy, okay. But if you're someone in terms of instrument, if you're someone you feel, if you're a musician, but and if you're someone who just the touch of your instrument soothes you, well then yes, instrument in that case would help. But otherwise, instrument would also come under the category of sound, which we will come to in just a bit. So it can go both ways. So I'm guessing everyone got touch figured out. So we'll move into sound. So we have an idea. We have instruments. What else in terms of sound? We didn't cover sound, right? No. What will help you on a really stressed out day in terms of sound?
I think binaural beats.
Sorry?
And binaural beats, so which you could use like the meditation and things like that. So yeah, and nature sounds, use beats.
Yes, definitely.
Sophie?
Music. Yeah. So for those of you who say music, what you could do is to create a playlist, because if you're really stressed out and overwhelmed and you just don't feel like doing anything, you're not going to be able to, if you're really drained with your energy, you're not going to have the energy to go looking for music. So maybe on your phone or your laptop or whatever, you have a playlist of stuff that you really like to listen to in a situation where you feel really stressed out, stuff that really helps to calm you down. And you have a note inside your box. Okay, you go to this place and there's nice music here that I've stored up for yourself. So when you're writing notes, refer to yourself. It's nice to say refer like you're talking to somebody, you refer to yourself. So say, now for example, if it was my box, I can say, Shimali, you can go to your phone, the playlist is saved in such and such a place. Just knowing that you are able to kind of connect with yourself by saying your name also helps, without just giving yourself orders, do this, do that, but putting your name down there. Any other ideas for sound? Also, we got those of you who like chimes, just the sound of chime. I don't know if you hear my chime right now. Then we also got, you get this Tibetan gong. I don't have one for myself, but those of you who are really serious about meditation or yoga, you may have it, the Tibetan gong. Small bells. Also, I couldn't think of what the name of this is, but I'm sure you'll know when I say it. It's not really seashells, but it's this. I still can't remember the name, but it's this thing where you keep to your ear and you hear the sound of the waves. Does anyone know what the name of that is?
The Haggedi, right?
Haggedi, yes. So I don't know what the English word is, but yeah. So those of you for whom that helps, that's an idea. If you have small Haggedi at home to help you out, remind yourself of the sea. Okay, so I think we got sound covered. Did smell, taste, vision. We covered everything? We didn't do vision, no? Yeah, okay. So sight. In terms of sight, what do you think will help you in a moment where you feel really overwhelmed? What would you like to look at? Ideas? What will you do? So for example, for me, I would like to maybe just go outside and just see nature, or just look up in the sky and look at the clouds or birds, look at my dog. Photos, memories of places that made you happy, or places that you like to go to. Those of you who are into art, maybe a few art supplies. Since you spoke of slime, there is also something maybe you can put inside your box. It's you get these calming jars. You get a lot of, those are some things you can make by yourself. You get it, you get a lot of ideas online. If you go on Pinterest, there are a lot of ideas to make your own calming jar. Those are also things that you can put inside your box. Any other ideas? No? So something I feel that is important for you to put inside your box. It could be maybe inside your box or outside your box, but it's about helping you know how valuable you are. So we will do this as we wind up as well, but maybe if you can write down either inside or outside your box and address it to yourself. So I tell you what the things are, but you can address it to yourself. So the first thing is, I am beautiful. So body image is something that affects some of us. But despite what others may say, I am beautifully created. So if you like, you can just say I am beautiful, or you can say your name. So Shimali, you are beautiful. The second thing is, I am worthy. So if you're someone who's battling with depression, suicidal ideation, you may at times feel really hopeless. And it's for those times like that that you're going to tell yourself how valuable you are. So I am worthy. Or Shimali, you are worthy. Whichever you feel clicks with you. The next point is, I am loved. So for those of us who are in a situation like I mentioned earlier, so depression, hopelessness, we feel that the entire world hates us. We feel that we're all alone. We feel that no one understands us. And that can be a very lonely place to be in. But what you need to tell yourself is that you are loved more than you ever know. And you may not even know it, but there are people out there in the world who care for you and who want the best for you. So, I am loved. Or, Shimali, you are loved. Please don't put my name, okay? By the way, what I mean is your name. So we did, yeah, so we come to the final one. And the final one is something I know for a fact that affects a lot of us, especially us girls here. So the final one is, I am good enough. So there may be some of us here who really battle with that. I know it's not just girls, the guys also may be wondering. I know it's guys as well who go through this very silently. But it's something that may be bothering a lot of us, the feeling of not being good enough. Of course, I cannot talk about it here. It's not a therapy session, but it's something that's there for most of us deep inside. And as a result, there's a lot that we try to do to achieve that recognition and that achievement that we want, because we constantly feel that we are not good enough. But you are. So that's one of the important things that has to go inside your box. I am good enough. Or Shimali, you're good enough. So actually these are things you can even paste up in your room, you know. It doesn't really have to even be in your box, but just seeing this, it's also part of the vision. Just seeing it on a day that you really feel low, I'm sure is going to help you lift your spirits. Just knowing that you are worthy, you are loved, you are beautiful, and you are good enough. Just reading those out for yourself. Let it be your mantra, you know, like a self-care mantra, a self-compassion mantra that you repeat to yourself constantly until you feel it's true, it's real. This is what it actually is. This is who I am. It's not the voices in my head. It's not the voices of the people around me. But this is what's real. So this is your box. It doesn't end here, but it is definitely something that you can continue to add on to, revisit, develop all throughout your life, hopefully, you know, till your old age, if the box lasts that long, hopefully. Something you can show your children, your children's children, hopefully, you know. So I hope that this is something that will really be helpful for you and something that you can really carry on with you all through your life. And it will definitely achieve the purpose for which it was meant, which is to help to soothe you at your lowest point in life. So that brings me to the end of today. But before we end, just want to let you know that it was great being with all of you, although I don't see all of you right now. I feel that, you know, something really clicked and something happened. Those of you whose videos are on, I really saw it in your faces. And I hope it was the same for those of you who are still with us as well. So actually, I've sent a feedback form to Zainab. I think she'll pass it on to you all. I'd like to know your feedback, what today was like for you. This is for me to develop my own way of working. So if you think there's something that I need to work on, I'm open to positive criticism as well. Okay, so before we wind up, one last thing. So those of you with the videos on, please don't off it. I like to see you doing this. Okay. So this is another thing you can add to your box. It's another thing you can add to your toolkit. It's to give yourself a hug. So we are in a day and time where we cannot receive hugs from anybody. Maybe only our family members, but not our friends. And for some of us, that means a lot. So what I want you to do is take your hands and just wrap it around yourself. Close your eyes and rock yourself like a baby. And just enjoy that moment. You can even tap your shoulders. You can rock yourself from side to side or from front to back. And just enjoy this hug. And I want you to repeat after me. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am worthy. am good enough. One more time. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am worthy. I am good enough. For the final time. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am worthy. I am good enough. So we'll take a deep breath and let go of our hands. So thank you. It was a pleasure being with all of you. Thank you, CLM. Thank you, Zainab.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Ms.
Thank you
Shimali.
so much for being here with us. We had a
It was
great.
such a valuable session.
Thank you.
And yes, so everyone, we will pass the link to you for you to give your feedback to Ms. Shimali on the session. If you're able to, please do. And also, I hope that everyone is following our Instagram page, Capsizina's LM Foundation, because we will be posting updates about the rest of the workshop series. So in the following weeks, we will have about 4 more sessions. And yes, so come check it out and see whether that will help you as well. And those who come to at least 4 of the 5 sessions will receive a certificate of participation as well. So yes, thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Ms. Shimali.
And just to
an
add
amazing
on
session.
to it, Shimali will also be part of a directory panel under the alternative therapists. So we will be launching it very soon, I think in the 2nd or 3rd week of October. So if there's anything that you would like to approach her, we'll definitely keep you updated. So just do follow the page in order to keep everything updated. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. And thank you, Ms. Shimali, once again.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Pleasure being with you.